Hello, my name is Sharon B, and I help you break free from spiritual bondage. And I am qualified to do this because I myself broke free through Christ Jesus from the spiritual bondage of what is called a spirit spouse. Some people call this a spirit husband, a spirit wife, an incubus spirit, or a succubus spirit. A lot of you guys have been subscribing to this channel and engaging with the content, and you have been asking questions. And today I am going to be answering one of your very own questions in this video. And the question is, how do you honor parents that have been abusive to you? In order to honor parents that have been abusive to you, the first thing you have to do is to forgive them. A lot of people find it difficult to forgive because they think that forgiveness means that they need to get back in close relationship with those who have hurt them. But no, forgiveness simply means that you release the people who have hurt you from the charge that they owe you healing, they owe you comfort, and they owe you restoration. And instead, you take that need for healing, comfort, and restoration from the pain they caused you to God. And you release them. You release their energy from your energy. You let them go and you send them God's love and blessings. That is what forgiveness is. And in order for you to do that, it starts in your will. You simply decide to partner, to obey God and partner with Him to forgive this person. You simply say, Lord, I will to forgive my parents that abused me, and I ask you to help me to do this and to give me the strength and the energy and the courage to let them go. Now that you have forgiven your father or your mother that has hurt you, the next step that you need to do is to heal. Forgiveness does not mean that you automatically are healed from the hurt. And in order for you to honor your parents, you need to do the work that it takes to heal from the abuse that they caused you. The first step for you to heal is to fully acknowledge the fact that you had abusive parents. Yes, a lot of people are stuck in their healing journey because they have created pseudo personalities for their abusive parents because they are unable to deal with the pain that it takes to admit that your lot in life was that you you have abusive parents. But I want you to know that the Bible deals with the fact that some people are going to have abusive parents. And we are told this in the book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 4, where parents are actually admonished not to be abusive to their children. The Bible talks a lot about difficult relationships between parental figures, authority figures. For example, we are told in Matthew 12:48-50, Jesus is explaining that whoever does the will of his Father is who he considers his brother, his sister, and his mother. Jesus is letting us know that true family is defined by faith and commitment to God's purpose. He's freeing us from feeling bound to situations where we have been abused and we feel like we have to stay connected to those people because they are our family members. This topic is also addressed in Matthew chapter 10, verse 37. Where Jesus lets us know that if we love father and mother more than him, we are not worthy to be his own. He's telling us that what we need to value in our life's journey is obedience to God more than family loyalty. And sometimes your obedience to God will cost you family relationships. That said, I want you to know that the next step in being able to honor abusive parents is to properly embrace the fact that you have been hurt and allow the pain to be felt. Take that pain to God and sit with it, cry, and process the pain. Don't numb it. In order for you to heal from this pain, you have to sit with it. And this can be very difficult to do. You may need help, you may need assistance, you may need counseling, you may need therapy to go through this process. Bible scriptures such as Psalm 139 remind us of the fact that even though we have earthly parents, ultimately we have a heavenly parent who is the one who formed us in our mother's womb. And such scriptures bring a lot of deep healing to the individual who finds themselves in a situation where they have to deal with abusive parents. You have to stop looking at them requiring for them to give you what parents give their children. They are unable to operate with you based on healthy parent-child relationship bonds. And so you have to grieve. You have to allow yourself a period of grieving that this is not going to happen. And you need to process that grief and give it to God. Now, when you are doing this, you also need to invest in spiritual counseling. You need to invest in therapy, and you also need to take time to do deliverance work. Most of the time, those who have been raised by abusive parents are going to need to break negative soul ties with those parents and cast out demonic spirits that take advantage of these negative soul ties to oppress them. You see, every time you are in an abusive relationship, trauma bonds are created, and those trauma bonds are what we call the negative soul ties. Those negative soul ties can open the door to spirits of bitterness and unforgiveness, and they can open the door to you being oppressed by spirit spouses, by demonic spirits such as spirit spouses. It is very important also in your healing journey to make sure that you carve out time to heal and regulate your nervous system. Every time you are in an abusive relationship, you need to know that it takes a toll on your nervous system. And in order for you to fully heal, you need to spend time recuperating and healing your nervous system. If you need help on how to do this, you can reach out to me via my website www.sharonbisha.com and book a private counseling session with me. Now we are going to talk about how to actually care for parents that have been abusive. In order for you to know how to care for parents that have been abusive after you have healed, you need to sit with this difficult question. Are your abusive parents, or is your abusive parent still abusing you, or are they repentant? If your abusive parent is repentant, go ahead, put the past behind, care for them fully, provide for them, be intimate with them, invite them over to your home, visit them regularly, and give them all the close love and support that they require from you, and invest in rebuilding an intimate relationship with them. But if your abusive parent is still being abusive to you and does not want to be accountable and doesn't show any signs of wanting to change and make amends towards you, then you can honor them from afar. Some of the steps you can take is that you can hire help for them if they are elderly and they need assistance. You should provide for them financially if they are open to receiving your financial support. It is very important that you remember that there's a biblical command for us to honor our parents, whether they are good or bad. And another way of fulfilling that command is by keeping your distance. Distance is better than disrespect. Exposing yourself to continuous abuse from these kinds of parents might make you lash out at them and be disrespectful, which will be dishonoring. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where you have to be the primary caregiver or live in close proximity to an abusive parent, it is important that you operate with that abusive parent with solid boundaries that you maintain. And it is also important that you take time for self-care, such as taking vacations away from that abusive parent. And if they need continuous care, you can hire somebody during that time that you are away to care for them. I hope that this video helps you. Thank you for watching, and I want you to know that if you have been watching until now, feel free to leave your questions in the comment section, either surrounding this topic or any other topic surrounding spiritual bondage, and I will do my best to do a video answering your question just like I have done this video. God bless you, and see you next time on my YouTube channel.